My name is Chelsea Watego, and I wish to acknowledge my connections to this place traditionally and historically through the Watego, Williams and Slocky families from which I belong to. I'd also like to acknowledge any mob that are here. I'm not speaking to you, but this is for you. So I want to talk about black joy because I'm full of it. No, for real, I'm full of it. I remember renowned Aboriginal artist Vernon Arkey once saying that every day he leaves his house, he is assaulted as a black man, and it fills him with rage. Now, if you ever met Vernon, you'd find that hard to believe because he's a fairly quiet and calm fella. But he insists that he's full of rage. He just doesn't perform it in the way that people expect him to. And it is in that tradition that I wish to follow. I wish to make it very clear, my joy as a black fella is not a performance of resistance or resilience or whatever. I'm not here to give the black take on joy as some subset of or seasoning to the universalised, normalised white experience of it. I'm not here to speak to the necessity of it politically or personally, though I know too well its importance. I have come to realise that I've exhausted far too much labour making a case for our right to express and experience the full range of human emotions that seem readily available to white people. I've written about black love, black anger, black rage, black grief, of loving black fathers, and even of black joy. Durrumble and South Sea Islander academic and journalist Amy Maguire points out that this political strategy of humanising black people is fundamentally flawed because it is dependent upon making us worthy to provoke empathetic responses from white fellas. Thus, it remains concerned with the white gaze and the concession that to be human is inevitably to be white or white-like. In writing Another Day in the Colony, a book written explicitly for black fellas, I rejected the white gaze. And despite it not being for settlers, the settlers sure got in their feels about it, in a way that was in stark contrast to the responses I received from black fellas. You see, Mob got the joy and the jokes in the book, a book on the ongoing violence of settler colonialism. Mob spoke of feeling strong and powerful, motivated and validated. But settlers were unsettled and struggled to see beyond sadness and despair, not helped by that chapter in which I insisted upon retiring hope, although not in those words. And it would be this chapter that would challenge the most progressive settler. And I couldn't work out why hope was so sacrosanct, why you need so much for us to have it. Hope to me is just a beautifully decorated gift box with no gift inside. Hope is the gift that settlers want us to be satisfied with in the absence of all other things that we're entitled to as First Nations peoples. To just keep on waiting with that smile on our face, believing in a future best of a people who have only ever shown us the worst of themselves. This is the problem of black joy in our expression of it in this place. We can't have our feels without you making it about your feels. Black joy in all of its beauty and power gets reduced to that of servitude to settlers. Its presence too frequently is taken up as some kind of moral barometer of the inherent goodness of white people, as though it's a gift you granted, when really it is about alleviating your own guilt. So you can have your hope, and we'll keep our joy. A joy not manifested in some Pinterest, Canva, Insta aspiration of the live, love, laugh variety to secure a settler patronage. Rest assured that white following is not the reward that you think it is. White validation is not the method or measure of black emancipation. It's the enemy of it. I refuse to allow my joy as a black fella to grant settlers a sense of your own progressiveness, to make you feel more settled with the violence of your presence in this place. Black joy is not for your comfort or for your viewing pleasure, regardless of the entry fee you paid. mean, I'm not even getting paid for this. The natives' expression of human emotion will no longer be a sideshow or spectacle for your consumption. Our joy exists for the simple fact that we exist. It is not an aspiration, it just is. Black joy is ours just like our land. And that is why black joy is expressed on our own terms and reserved exclusively for us, is resented as much as our presence is in this place. I remember doing our radio podcast program, Wild Black Women, where we found joy each week in all the things that should make us wild. You know, the latest race debate, clickbait, Twitter trending, TikTok drama. And we would report on it each week on our own terms, in our own way. And we laughed, like snorted laughed. It was funny in the absurdity of it all. No one does satire better than settler colonialism. And the funny thing was, it was our joy that would be among the first complaints we received. That we dare laugh at settlers on a black radio station. So what did we do with those complaints? We didn't get angry, we didn't cry. We read them out on air to the backdrop of violins. And we laughed some more. In fact, we laughed harder, so hard we couldn't finish reading them. You see, despite being your punching bag, we've always made you our punchline. This is why you do not get black joy, today or ever. It is both above your head and beyond your gaze. It need not be shared with you or explained to you for it to exist. It is not dependent upon your validation in order to be known, seen, and felt. It is in knowing who we are that we find most amusing who you think you are. It is beyond laughable that you think, having taken our land, our kids, our freedom, our lives, that you can have our joy too. Black joy is never more present than in its resistance to white sensibilities. It does not seek white applause. In fact, there is nothing more joyous for black fellas than these supposed awkward moments of white silence. This right here is black joy and the power of it all. Just as Aki feels his rage while refusing to perform it in the ways others expect. This is black joy as embodied and not performed. So yeah, stick your 10 minutes, that's all you get.